say, okay, I have a lot of money, but you have no money unless you take profits.
When the first ever spot ETF was created for gold 10x.
And the only thing I really knew was Bitcoin at the time, so I just invested very heavily into that. Rode it all the way up.
What's up?
My name is Jeff. Even the creators have said it's going to be the predecessor of CBDC.
What that taught me was that I need to be self-sufficient.
A solid DCA investment strategy, and pretend the red sell button doesn't even exist.
We about to go up like.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
What up, Degens? We appreciate you guys joining us tonight on the Degen Roundtable Sunday night episode. We got some great content on deck for you. Hey, panel, you guys know I usually start the show off by saying, hey, we got some fire content tonight, this, that, and the other, and we usually do. But tonight is going to be an awesome episode. So before we get started, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and join. That's all I'm going to say. 4 words. Like, comment, subscribe, join. Check the description below. You guys will find all the links that you need to join up, and make sure you guys are subbed to the channel as well. So we got Sloth in the house tonight. Sloth, what's going on, buddy? How you been? What you been up to?
What's up? I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. I'm a huge fan of the channel. Love catching you guys live, and it's nice to be back on for my second appearance on the Degen Roundtable.
Well, we definitely appreciate you joining, man. We've seen you in the chats doing a lot of fun stuff over the last couple months, so it's definitely great to have you in the chat with us. Agent Jay, we got you in the house also. What's going on, buddy? How's your week been going? Yo, by the way, dude, you did a hell of an episode last Sunday with Crypto Boogie. You hosted. Great job. Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys did a great episode on Sunday. So how's your week been going?
Thank you, sir. I like compliments. It's been going good. Hey, Sloth, you said you've only been here. You've actually been on the show 3 times, man. Remember, you popped in during one of the AMAs.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember with Rawlers?
With Rawlers, that's right. 3rd appearance, baby. Let's go.
Third appearance,
the best one.
But hey, man, the week has been pretty good. Great week of sales. Actually, just I was talking to you about this earlier. I finished a new client consultation today, a new powerlifting client. He wants to compete at the Arizona State Championships next February. It's going to be at the tail end of February. He's still competing as a junior, so he's like, hey, man, I heard a lot of great things about your coaching. I really want to make a run for these junior titles before I age out of it, because then next year he's going to be in the open weight class. And the kid is freaking strong, bro. He's 23 years old. He's projected to bench close to 400, squat high 5s, like close to 6, and then deadlift mid 600 pounds. And this guy's competing at we didn't want to cut his weight, so he's going to be competing at the 100 kilo weight class. So he's like around 220 pounds. So pretty damn beastly numbers and beastly total for somebody who's still like 23 years old. So that's going to be exciting. But that's how my week's been, man. A lot of crypto news. If we get to it, I want to tell you guys some of the stuff that I've been keeping track of over the last week, because it seems like a lot of things are lining up in a row as to why the price has been going up significantly, despite the fact that there are a lot of indicators on the chart that would tell us otherwise. But other than that, man, week's been good. Will, how you been doing, brother?
I am doing good, bros. Just enjoying a blondie, driving up I-35 back to my house. I guess it's not a house, it's a shipping container, right? But driving back home, going to chill out. I've got a nice bamboo plant in the background. Don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm ready to plant it and start growing some fucking bamboo. I'm super stoked about that. Super stoked about all this low price action in the Richard Hart ecosystem, even though we're having a pump. Liquid Loans is listed on Coin Paprika. Bitcoin's going sky high. It seems like we're on the cusp of greatness here, but I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. So I'm just having a good old time, as always. I'm excited to see some of the creation that we're going to be doing on this episode with Mr. Sloth here. So let's go ahead and get into it, boys.
I like it. Before we get into it, Will, quick question for you. Do you decorate the shipping container for Christmas at all?
No, I don't decorate for Christmas. That would be kind of cool though. It'd be festive and stuff, but nah, I don't decorate the shipping container.
I gotcha. Yeah, I just figured I'd ask. Jay, I got a question for you, a follow-up question after your intro. Do you still do powerlifting, or do you just coach and mentor at this point?
I still squat. Squat has always been my best movement. So it's one of those things that you take some time off, because powerlifting as a sport, for anybody that's competed, knows that it takes a really, really big toll on your body. Because even though you're only doing max effort attempts when you're actually competing, the load that you have to carry every single time you're in the gym just takes a beating on you. So I've backed off a lot with benching. I've backed off a lot with deadlifting, because especially deadlift, that's like the highest fatigue movement. But I still really like to squat. But otherwise, I just do bodybuilding movements, bro. And I do coaching and nutrition programming because, like, I'm vain. But otherwise, no more powerlifting for me, man. Like, I hit a lot of the goals that I wanted to hit when I was competing. So it's not really an itch I have to scratch anymore. Maybe one day, but right now, all my time is funneled for the business, crypto, with you guys. And that's another thing. Time lifting as a sport is a big time sink, man. I can't afford to invest that much time into the sport anymore. I'd rather just coach people and help people who actually have the genetic capability to become champions. That's good for me, man.
That's awesome. There's definitely more conversation that we're going to have in the future around that. But seeing that I only have you and Sloth for about another 52 minutes, let's go ahead and hop into the topic. So, Sloth, I want to come to you, man. So the topic of tonight's episode is creating and tracking a cryptocurrency. So that's ultimately what we're going to be doing. So before we hop into that, can you how many times have you created a coin, and how much research have you done, I guess, leading up to this, prior to this? What's been your background in that? Have you created anything in the past, anything like that?
Not really.
Okay.
Pretty much the one that I made on the stream was like the first time I ever did it, like basically from scratch. Yeah, I mean, like, I know about it like theoretically and conceptually. I think I made one coin. Oh, so I was on a stream on Crypto Class's channel, and Lamont Black was on there, and there was some joke about like we should make Lamont coin. And then while we were on the stream, I made it really, really quickly as a joke. And then I decided not to say anything because it's like, it's his name. And like, you're making a coin with like somebody else's name. I took a step. Once I thought about it for like 2 seconds, like, okay, it's funny, but let's not get carried away with some other guy's name. Like, I don't want to do that. But like, that was like the only time I think I made it quickly. But like, I've known about the tool I'm going to show you. I've known about it for a while. If you guys remember a couple months ago, Gary Funding Gym, he made a bunch of coins for different influencers using their names and distributed it to them. And this is that same tool. It's basically just a boilerplate creator of tokens, like a preloaded contract, and you just make a ticker and you just find the supply and it drops it in your wallet for PRC20. Super easy. There's no utility, send and receive only. So like, if you're creating a coin and wanting utility, this really isn't the way to do it, or you'd have to create a smart contract later to plug in that utility. It's not for like an inflationary token, so you can't, it's like all the supply is max minted to your wallet, so there's no like, mechanisms like Hex or Hedron or anything like that. So like, this is like very simple. Like, if you wanted just to make a meme token for like shits and giggles, like, this is how you do it.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right. Well, with that being said, go ahead.
Even more important, I think, more important than just like, the funs and shits and giggles of like making a meme and, I have a token like, named Chocolate Tan or whatever. As funny as that would be, I think going through this process actually sheds a lot of light on like what goes on the blockchain with these coins that you're buying and you're researching. Like, setting up the coin, making a liquidity pool, seeing the chart as you're doing buys and sells within a completely closed system, because nobody else has the token. Like, it actually helps you learn a lot about what's going on behind the scenes when you're looking into like low cap gems, all the way even up to things like Hex, that is like Hex and Pulse Chain, which have the most liquidity and the most volume. Like, it helps you understand the entire spectrum of what's going on under the hood when you're investing in crypto. So I think that's like the biggest thing people are going to get from today.
Oh man, this is so fucking cool.
I love it. All right. So let's go ahead and hop into it. I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to you. Whatever you need to share, just let me know. I'll make sure we can get it shared and everything's viewed.
Yep,
And
shared my screen. So whenever you guys are ready.
All right, you are up and we are good to go, my man.
Perfect. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. Okay, so this is GoPulse, and this is a really, really great site with a bunch of cool stuff. But what we're going to focus on is this mint feature right here. So, guys, what do we want to call this token?
I think we should call this the Degen Roundtable coin.
Okay. Nope, can't do coin. So we're going to take coin out. Degen Roundtable.
I like it.
Degen Roundtable. And then the ticker, Degen Round. DRT. How much is supply? What do we want?
Will, Jay, what are you guys thinking?
Ooh.
69 million.
All right.
69 million.
69 million.
420,000.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
69 million, 420,000.
For the culture, boys. For the culture. All right. So connect my wallet.
429,800.85.
Okay. Wait, what was it again? What was that
69,420,800.85. So it should be 69,420 boobs.
Can't do decimals, but that's all right.
Ah, fuck. Well, never mind. Forget that last part then.
That would have been pretty great, though. I guess. Wait, we can do 404, right? Isn't that something? Yeah.
What's a what? Oh, 404. Yeah. The error code.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, this is so fucking retarded. I love it.
Bro.
All right. So basically, I'm just running the transaction right now in the test wallet that I made really quickly. So we're gonna do that, and it's just gonna drop that many tokens with that ticker and that name in my wallet. So yeah, we'll just wait.
Holy shit. There's just like what, one block confirmation or something?
Pretty much.
Just
Super
like anything
easy.
else.
Wow.
Yep, there we
Holy
go. DRT
shit.
is now deployed. So let's go to the correct one. And so
God
obviously
damn.
it's not going to be there automatically, but if you go here, click that button. Oh yeah, IPFS. Let's see, is this the right one? Yep, DRT token. So what you want to do is just click right here and to grab the contract address, or just click the add token to MetaMask. And so you'll be able to add it to your MetaMask right there. Now you have the contract address straight into your MetaMask. So we go here and we have DRT token right there with the exact number that we just specified. So that's as easy as it is. Like, it's literally that easy.
So it's basically like just adding a token like you would any other token to your MetaMask just to see it on there. Wow, that's insane. And you can do all of this through the GoPulse interface?
Yeah, I haven't gone anywhere else, brother.
How do you know how to make the little the little symbol? You know, like Bitcoin has the B.
Yeah, I actually don't. Let me see. Let's see if we can go to the contract. Right contract. Read contract. You don't see any way to add a logo to it. I'm gonna have to actually ask around for that. Let me think.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the contract address. Okay, so they have a button to add liquidity onto PulseX, but I'm going to actually use 9mm just to promote their stuff a little bit. And I'm going to use the 9mm V2. And the reason I'm talking about 9mm is because they have a V3 DEX for you to do concentrated liquidity positions if you wanted to do that. But I'm just going to be on the V2 version because that's what shows up on DEX Screener. Right now, DEX Screener doesn't have support for the V3 liquidity pools quite yet.
And for the folks at home who don't understand what V3 is, can you kind of explain that in peanut brain terms for them?
Yep.
And I'll
V2
give you a hint.
Liquidity...
I'm the folks at home.
V2 liquidity is when you are set $50 value of each of the tokens you want to provide liquidity for, and you provide liquidity across all potential price ranges. V3 liquidity, you can do concentrated liquidity or between discrete price ranges. So if you were providing $1,000 of, say, Pulse and USDC, on V2, that would be spread between like basically 0 to like infinity, the prices. So you would have liquidity all the way up at, $1 million per Pulse token. Obviously, that's never going to be used, but based on how the math works, you would have technically liquidity out there. With V3, you could set a range between like, where the price is, like 10% below the price and 10% above the price. So all $1,000 is in between that plus minus 10% price spread. So the liquidity is much more efficient. Instead of having just a little bit where we're at, you have everything where we're at.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So right now the coin has been created, correct?
Yep. The coin has been created. There's the official Degen Roundtable coin has been launched.
Okay. So
no sacrifice necessary, guys.
No sacrifice necessary. All right. And all the coins that are in creation at this point are in your MetaMask, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And you can actually verify that if you go to the Degen Roundtable contract address. There's only one holder.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So if we wanted to take this coin live, or if we wanted to set up like a liquidity pair or something like that, what would be the next step?
Yeah. So the two options on here, you could go to add. Whoa. Back to safety. I guess they don't like PulseX, so I guess we are using 9mm. So you could go to PulseX and do it yourself, or you could just go to 9mm, the V2. Swap.9mm.pro. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a liquidity pool. And so when we're doing this, we're setting the initial price of the token, and we're setting how much money is provided at this price. And like I said before, because it's V2, technically we're going to have liquidity across all price ranges. So you're going to go to pools, add liquidity. And then what we need to do is we need to grab our contract address, which I have right here. And you'll see DRT, it pops up automatically now on the 9mm UI. So we're going to add it, and then we're going to add Pulse with it too. So now we have DRT token, and I have a little bit of Pulse in my wallet. So I'm going to add all of the DRT tokens to a liquidity pool, and then I'm going to pair it with 10,000 Pulse. So there's going to be 54 cents of liquidity in here. Uber shitcoin area, baby. Let's go. Yep. So I'm going to enable token. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so now like the entire world can buy Degen Roundtable for something around 50,000 pulse, but it'll like go up and down or whatever because it's V2.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is so cool.
All of this price will be spread equally across all prices. And so really, because there's only going to be like $1 of liquidity, like you can't spend more than 20 cents for this token. So if you guys wanted more liquidity, like obviously I'm not putting up that much liquidity because I'm just testing it. But if you guys wanted to make this a thing, what you guys should do is like put in like $1, buy up the token. And then when you do that, add more liquidity. So you buy it, add liquidity, and then the liquidity is going to thicken over time, making the price move slower, but also making it easier for people to buy or sell without that much slippage. So we're starting basically at 0. And then if you guys wanted to adopt this coin, or people in the chat or people in the Telegram wanted to be like, hey, I'm just going to buy some and put like, 100,000 pulse in liquidity with it, then you could do that at the same time.
Yep. Oh,
and that's kind of like the process of bootstrapping liquidity organically.
Hey, Sloth. So you mentioned before we started this was a closed system, right? But obviously there are cases, for example, when Pulse Chain first released, where because there weren't any pairs set up for a lot of the tokens, somebody had to go in there and create the first pair for that specific token, like for example, like Pulse USDC, because it didn't exist. What's the value of being able to be like the first person to create the pool for a specific token pair, like we're basically doing here, if this was in an open system?
Yep. So the advantage is one that you get to set the price, and you get to set how many of the tokens actually exist in the pool. So I'm doing a pretty extreme example where I'm adding 100% of the supply into the liquidity pool. And so right now, because this token exists, anybody can look it up. They can actually buy a very, very large percent of the supply, if not the vast majority of it, for very, very cheap, because there's only 50 cents of the liquidity. So you put in $5, and actually now that we have this done, let's go run some test transactions as well, so we can kind of see like what those numbers look like with the token. So we'll go here and we'll put the contract address in, and we'll buy with Pulse. So let's see, how much Pulse do I have in this wallet? Connect my wallet. So I got 7,000 Pulse. Let me fund this wallet a little bit more. 1 second. Let me add just a little bit more Pulse in here just so that we can have some fun. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to
screen down or anything. Don't dox yourself or whatever.
Oh no, this is all a completely separate wallet with nothing crazy in there that I'm using for my NFT collection. So I made a couple extra addresses under there, so it's all right.
Cool stuff.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna just take a minute to give a couple shout outs in the chat for the folks that are watching. We appreciate everybody that's watching us live right now. Willie B. Long,
hey,
first in the chat tonight. That's right. He was in here an hour before we got started. When
Billy.
can I ape? Let's fucking go. Billy, if you're still watching, man, we appreciate you hanging out. We got Dre Sims in the chat. What's up? What's up? What's up? We got Fast Abdul. Let's talk bribes. And last but not least, we got Hex Enthusiast, Yo Sloth, and the rest of you. So what's up, guys? We appreciate everyone that's watching us live. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and join the Telegram. With that being said, Sloth, turning it back over to you, bud.
Awesome. So the pulse should be sending right now. We should be getting it soon. Let me make sure I'm on the right test account. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Should be sent. There we go. Now we'll move over to my test wallet. Boom. All right, now we got a little extra pulse. So let's just say 1,000 pulse. If we look, the slippage right now, we're going to up it by 44.44%. Not that much. But if we add another 1,000, all of a sudden we're going to slip the price up by 4.25%. First, before we do this, let's go find this coin on Dex Screener, because now that we have a liquidity pool, there technically is a chart. So we'll go here, DRT. I'll grab the contract address one more time. And so paste this, and then we'll look at that DRT wrap pulse. It's actually up 300% already. Someone's been buying it.
Let's get it.
So yeah,
Jesus
if
Christ.
you look, there's actually already been some buys on this thing for like 10,
oh my God.
And this has all been from basically one wallet right here. I assume this is probably some kind of bot, if I had to take a guess. Here's
another. So this is wonderful. So here is something that the audience can really take home. This is what it's like, because I'm sure a lot of our audience and people in general always hear about these bots, right? These like market maker bots, and these bots that like buy up the price. This is a great example of that happening right now, right? like look at the buys coming in for the coin, bro. So I just wanted to highlight that example because this is something that you don't see every day. So thank you for Sloth for demonstrating this. It's pretty cool.
Hey, so could you guys kind of describe it to me, because I can't see the numbers too well, and I'm also driving right now. So what is this bot doing?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if these are bots exactly. I'm seeing some of the same address. It may be somebody who is just in the chat and is just buying up the token right now. That's very possible, because I did all of this publicly.
I think I think it's Jay behind the scenes, but that's just me.
He's been ready. But yeah, so let's see. Let me just look at these wallets. So after I made it, literally like within the minute, people were already starting to buy the token up. And so we have this wallet here. Let's find one of these wallets and see how much they actually have in there.
Yeah. Who's the whale, man? Who's the whale that bought up a lot?
Yeah, Degen. So this wallet right here has like 43,000 pulse. Now, the reason why it might not be a bot is because I didn't create another liquidity pool for there to be arbitrage in between. So like, because this is the only liquidity pool that exists and there is no arbitrage opportunity with it technically, that makes me think this might be like people in the community right now. So if you just go to the Pulse Chain Explorer and we go to the contract itself, we can actually see how many holders there are. So we have 3 holders total. We have the liquidity pool that I put in, and then we have these 2 wallets who have bought up 16 and 24% of the supply already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question for you, Sloth. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Earlier, you mentioned that when you created the coin using the Gold Pulse website, that you can only do sends and receives. Why are people able to buy into this coin? Is it because you created a liquidity pool for it?
That's exactly why. So because I created a liquidity pool, what I said to the blockchain was like, hey, I have this token and I have Pulse. If anybody wants to trade between these 2 tokens, I will provide you the tokens to trade with. And so before I made that liquidity pool, it was impossible for anybody else to get those tokens because 100% of the supply was in my wallet. But now that I created a liquidity pool with Pulse, which is like the most abundant coin on Pulse chain, anybody is able to get this token now because I have said like, hey, if you want to buy this token, you need to spend Pulse to get it. And now what's happening is you'll actually see in my liquidity position. If we go, let's go to pools and we go to my position. What you'll actually see is that the total number of the Degen Roundtable token that I had is gone down, and I've actually accumulated basically 86,000 Pulse from the people buying it. Right, so people took their Pulse, put it in the pool to take this DRT token, and now I'm the one who's accumulated that Pulse, and this is what's basically known as impermanent loss, because the price of the DRT token has gone up relative to Pulse, and now I have less DRT tokens. So technically, I've lost value. But this price action would never be possible in the first place if I didn't provide this liquidity pool if I didn't provide liquidity for this token in the first place. So in my specific instance, it's actually all 100% gain because these tokens were completely valueless before I created the liquidity pool. So I'm about to make $100,000 Pulse, basically just by opening this up publicly on the channel and people buying it up.
That's nifty. Is this sort of kind of what Too Spooky did when he created the Hex Orange address?
This is exactly what he did. Yep, you're seeing this exact same process happen right now.
That is so fucking cool.
Yep.
Wow.
And by providing liquidity, based on the APR that we've gotten these last couple minutes, I'm earning 12% APR because of these swaps.
That is
out
so
of nothing,
funny.
like from nothing. I created some shitcoin and just threw it in my wallet, put it with 10,000 Pulse, and now I've basically 145x, 160x my Pulse bag that I put in here just by providing liquidity with this token.
See, joke's on them. Sloth actually wants more Pulse and less DRT token.
Yeah.
So it's actually impermanent gain at this point, man. What are you talking about, bro?
So yeah, let's look. Yeah, we're up 10,000%.
I love it.
Okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
I like it. So it's this easy. So, when people, the familiar adage out there is, 95% of coins that are created are going to be shit coins. This is exactly the reason why right here. Am I correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. This is exactly it. I mean, this token has no value outside of the branding that is associated with your guys' channel, right? That's where the value comes from, and that is named after you guys. It's named after your guys' brand, and it's been created live on the channel to kind of showcase how this stuff has been done. And so right now we're seeing, right now we have 5 holders total, the liquidity pool token, and then 4 other holders. One person is like a 16x whale in this. One person is a 10x whale because 1% of the supply is a whale position. And then we have a 3x whale and then like a 4.6x shark in the pool. And so because this person got into the pool earlier probably than this person, they were able to accumulate a lot of the supply much cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, it's still pumping because people are just buying. It looks like it's the same wallets just buying. Probably just a couple people in the chat right now.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's that easy, guys.
Dude, here's the thing to kind of add on to what to what Josh said earlier about the potential risk because of how easy it is to create a shitcoin like this. You have to realize that number one, a Sloth put in the entire. He made the entire supply available within this pool. Imagine if somebody created a pool for the shitcoin, right? And they still held the majority of the supply back in their own wallet, right? If it came to the point where it's like, okay, there's insufficient liquidity here, and he's like, oh, there's actually demand for this coin, he could start dumping the coin into the pool and get back whatever coin was paired with that with his shitcoin. Because theoretically, he's going to be like, okay, this has more value. I just created the shitcoin. I actually want more of the other one. So he could just basically do the trades like that.
Yep. And actually, I'm going to fund the wallet with a little bit more Pulse because I want to show you how to now add liquidity. So I showed you how to create a liquidity pool with nothing that existed. Now let me show you how you would add liquidity once something already existed. So I'm just going to fund it with a little bit more Pulse so I can do it with a bigger buy.
That's perfect because we got Jeff up in the chat right now asking you to add more liquidity to it. So.
Yep. And then actually that's a great question. That's a great question because I'm going to show you how to adjust your slippage tolerance so that you can still get orders to go through. Okay, so we just got our first sell. So someone just sold 420 worth of USD, and now the chart dumped, you know.
Hey, what are you guys doing, man? This is we're still holding, man. This is not the time to sell. This is not this is not 2025. It's not alt season yet. What are you guys doing, man?
That's right. You're holding until 2025. What are you guys doing out here?
Geez, my thing's lagging a lot. But basically, you know, it dumped like a decent amount. It's all laggy. It broke the internet, guys. All right. So let's go to the swap. And so we're back at Pulse and DRT, and I added a little bit of extra Pulse to the wallet. So I'm going to buy 20,000 Pulse worth of the DRT token. And now I'm getting like not that much. I'm getting only like 75,000 of the total 69 million supply. So before with the dollar, you could probably get like 5-10% of the supply. But now that it's been bought up, we are getting much, much less. So right now the price impact is 4.5%. And if I added another, say, let's do 50, it would be 10%. I bet if we click swap, we would, I think I have mine on expert mode. Let me turn it off expert mode. Let me see. No, it's not on expert mode. But if it was too high, let's say we did like that, insufficient pulse balance, but it would also say there's insufficient amount of liquidity in there. Let me try this again. Let's see if I can get that to show up with the amount that I have. Okay, so eventually, like what Apex was saying, it says is insufficient liquidity. What you need to do is go to this item, the settings tab, and then set your slippage tolerance to like 1%, or a custom percent right here. And you have to go to expert mode to be able to adjust it even higher. So I'm going to buy 20,000 Pulse worth of this token. Try it. Okay, so there we go. The transaction will not succeed either due to price movement or fee on transfer. Try increasing your slippage tolerance. So I'm going to go and I'm going to change my slippage tolerance to, let's do 5%. Do 5%.
Is slippage comparable kind of like to acceleration of price or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so slippage, the definition of it is basically the difference between the price you tried to pay and the price you actually paid. So as the price is going up when you're buying the token, you're obviously getting less and less tokens because the price is going higher. And that difference is the slippage.
Got it. Again. Derivatives and calculus, folks. Fun stuff.
Yep. I know when Pulse Chain first released, a lot of folks that we were speaking with, and even a lot of our own colleagues, right, in the CMC, the CMC, they were super confused because they were like, how come my transaction is not getting through? And that's because they were trying to move within these pools that had just been created, and people were trying to jump in and out of them. And so this is exactly like what Sloth is doing here. Adjusting the slippage tolerance is actually what a lot of us had to do in order for us to be able to get our buys through, because the movements, like the movement in the pool was so fast and so dynamic that we had to increase it. I think the most I had to increase it during the first days of a release was like 2% to get orders through, because I was out every single order was failing left and right.
Yeah, so these are even failing too because let me keep trying. I'm trying to make sure that we can get this through really fast, but I'll keep trying.
Is there too much demand for the Degen Roundtable coin right now?
I think so.
That's awesome.
Let's go back to.
So a way that someone would increase the liquidity pool, for, if I understand it correctly, is they would basically buy some of the coin, and then they would put that coin in with their own liquidity.
Exactly.
And that would make the pool bigger, and that's how you grassroots build.
Exactly. Okay. Perfect. We got it. So now I put all of the pools in a liquidity, all of the tokens in a liquidity pool. So then I had 0 in my wallet, and now I have 42,000 in my wallet because I just bought it with 20,000 Pulse tokens, and you'll see the price has gone up. So we'll actually see this is my buy right here on Dex Screener, where I bought it, and this is the amount of tokens that I got. So now what we can do is we can go here. I can add liquidity. And if I want to put all of this in there, I would need to put another 20,000 pulse in there, because now that we have a price, it'll automatically calculate how many you need to put in, versus before it was just the ratio of the tokens that you put up yourself. So now all I'll do is I'll just go supply, confirm supply, confirm one more time.
Yo, we got some DJing motherfuckers in this group right now
This is
watching this
awesome.
live stream.
Yo, they got on
We
this
got
so
some, we
fast,
got
bro.
some, yeah. Yo, Dre is like, yo, I'm gonna make some money off this tutorial right now.
Bro, did you see?
We
He
got
said he
some
had to put up
DJing
his slippage.
motherfuckers in here.
He said he had to
This
put
is
up his slippage tolerance to 30% to get the transaction to go through.
Oh my God. Yeah, Dre's the day trader. So if you guys are trying to trade this coin, Dre's siphoning your money off.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's something interesting. So before I had 100% of the pool, and I added more liquidity. So if that was all of the liquidity that existed, this would still say 100%. But it looks like somebody else has provided liquidity, because this is not 100% anymore. So now somebody else, in addition to me, is providing liquidity for the token.
Got it.
Yeah, and this is actually pretty crazy. So I put in 10,000 pulse into this pool, right? Look how much pulse, and then I just put in another 20,000, so 30,000 pulse total. I have almost 600,000 pulse in this pool now, just by setting it off into the wild and other people buying this token.
Jesus. So our total market cap is like $200 or something worth, or some shit like that.
Oh, look at this! We got a huge dump. Somebody just sold $30. So now if we so they just made $30 off all of us, right? So now if
it was Dre, man. It was Dre.
I just had almost 600,000 pulse in there, and now I have 74,000 pulse in there, and I have a lot of the supply back because they just swapped back into that token.
Yep.
Look what happened to the LP APRs in that pool.
Yeah.
I just popped up to 148% because I just got the volume went up from that sell.
Got it.
That
right?
sounds
See,
like
that
sounds like Dre to me.
Yep. Yeah, it sounds like Dre, man. Yo, off the team, man.
God
damn.
damn.
That's a gnarly candle. Oh,
sent it to zero.
Yep. So basically,
wait. Sloth, is that on log? Put it on log. To make it look better,
this is log, buddy. This is log.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
This is normal. This is log. It's the same thing. Rugged.
Rugged.
Yep. But that's what can happen. Like if somebody gets in early enough, and then a bunch of people, and they buy up enough of the supply early enough, then they can just rug it because they now have all of those tokens. And so now we basically have to get people to start buying it up again. But because the price is so much following. Yep. But now look, the liquidity is down to $7. And the reason why that is because I only put like 50 cents up at first, and then probably another $1 total, $1.50 total. The reason why this liquidity was like $40, $50 before was because the price of the DRT token had gone up so much, and there was so much pulse sitting in the pool. Now there's very little pulse and much more DRT, and the DRT token has less dollar value, so the liquidity has gone down. So we get back to a position where this token can then fly up in price again because the slippage is going to be so much higher because there's so little liquidity again.
That's a perfect explanation of what happens when it rugs too. Like when you have a coin that rugs, that's a perfect explanation of what happens.
Yep. And we just had somebody buy $5, and that $5 pumped it 9x.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. So it dumped,
here's a
99%
visual
and then did a
representation.
9x pump. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like it is a good visual representation. A lot of people always ask, "Hey, man, like why did this token dump so much and so fast?" And you see those big red candles. This is what can happen when you're playing with a pair, right? You're like with shit coins. You're trading in pairs that have such low liquidity, and people hold such large amounts of the supplies. If one person makes a sell order, this kind of candle can happen. So this is one of those. It's a good visual representation of exactly the reason why we tell folks when you're engaging in meme coins and shit coins, you have to be very careful because this is exactly the kind of stuff that's happening. It's like literally happening live in front of your eyes. Thanks to our buddy Sloth over here, man.
We do it live.
We do it live, baby. Hey, if we're gonna rug you, we're gonna do it to your face, right?
That's hilarious.
Well, what's awesome is that, I mean, just look at this chart right here. I mean, just think about it on a grander scale with a more popular coin. You know what I'm saying? You know, the coin's launched, it has its initial run up, and then, you know, someone or a group decides to take profits, and that's exactly what happens. You know, and then, you know, the cycle starts, either the cycle starts back over, or nobody wants to rebuy the coin because they've lost complete faith in it. So, you know, just being able to look at this chart and see exactly, you know, from, you know, the coin being created, we see it run up, and then we see that first big sell-off, and now, you know, somebody decided to pay a little bit more money, so the price pump back up a little bit. I mean, this right here is an awesome microcosm of the larger macro cycle, and it's so cool to see in person.
Yep. Somebody tried to buy the dip, man.
Yep. Someone just added a very little amount of liquidity right here: 13,000 DRT tokens and 700 Pulse tokens. Yep.
Okay.
So
these guys liquidity providing, are they earning fees on 9-inch, or is there any sort of
9
millimeter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit smaller than 9-inch.
So my question is, Sloth.
I got you, Jay. I hear you.
My question is, Sloth, with all these gains, are you going to go buy the second world, the largest diamond, the second largest diamond in the world? go spend money on cars and all
I
that
can't anymore.
stuff.
Somebody took all the money I was trying to take from you guys. Like, I don't know what I can't. I just left with a bunch of DRT token now.
All right, so what are we doing next?
All right, so let's look at how to create a V3 liquidity position, because we just did V2. But if we wanted to be a little bit more granular or strategic with the way we're setting our liquidity, we want to go over to V3. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a little bit more of the token. So let's buy another $20,000 worth, 20,000 Pulse worth. Let's go to.
I'm about to say, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm about to send the chart, baby. I'm about to send it. Lose all my money really quickly. Here we go. 20,000. Let's do 15,000. Yeah, 15,000 Pulse. Okay. So we'll swap anyways.
Damn it, I wish I wasn't driving right now. Oh, boy.
See, but if that person who bought all of that at the beginning didn't rug, the price would still be going up. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So it really matters when you're doing like, so when you're a very common narrative is putting all of a very popular narrative or something that's very favorable to communities is providing liquidity with 100% of the supply up front. But if you get the wrong people get their hands on those tokens too early, then that provides like systemic risk, because then it's just going to dump really hard if the price runs up too much. So like there's a balance of like providing liquidity and like making sure the right people are getting the coin at the right time, you know?
Yep. There's a reason why the OA holds the majority supply of Hex, guys. It's not an accident.
Let's see. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, so we reloaded our DRT wallet. We got 23,000. So let's go over to the V3. Let's go. Let's add the token. I think it might still be. No. All right. Sorry, doing it live.
You're good. It's kind of like, I just wonder, like, man, when Ethereum was like $20 per transaction or whatever, some people launching their coins doing shit like this, fuck, dude, you're doing a lot of transactions on Pulse Chain right now. I'm thinking like, God, how expensive would this be if it was on Ethereum?
Oh, I wouldn't do this demo. This would cost me like $100 so far. Like, I just wouldn't be doing it. I'd tell you how to do it, and then be like, okay, you can go spend your money to test it out. But like, I wouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd have to sponsor Sloth to be able to do this on Ethereum, guys. Right? You have to be our sponsored athlete, bro.
But you also wouldn't get as much price action, because no one would want to spend $3 or $5 to do a Uniswap transaction on a pool that has $1 of liquidity. And it's going to cost $20 to make that liquidity pool in the first place. So like this demonstration wouldn't even be possible without Pulse Chain. All right. So the UI for V3 is a little bit different. So first, what we need to do is we need to pick a fee tier. And basically what this means is every transaction that runs through this pool, this is the fee that's taken out of the transaction. I'm going to do 1%. And by saying that, I was like, hey, what I'm saying by picking the 1% pair is like, hey, I'm going to allow you to trade with my tokens, but you're going to have to pay a premium to get access to this liquidity. If you want people to easily be able to swap with the tokens, you go to this 0.01% pair because you're basically giving your liquidity up for free. So 1% more fees, 0.01% less fees. So we pick the 1% pair, and then we're going to go to the DRT token.
And where does that 1% or 0.01% go to?
The liquidity providers.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't, let's see, is this on the right wallet?
Now in the V2, your initial liquidity creation, you get the fees from that as well, or well, you used to get 100%, right? Because you were 100% liquidity provider, but now because other people are also providing liquidity, they get little snippets of that that transactional whatever thing too.
Correct. So there's a difference in the way that fees are paid out on V2 and V3. With V2, the fees are auto compounded back in the liquidity pool. In V3, you can harvest the token. So they're put like in a separate account, and then you can click harvest, and they'll be put into your wallet for you to compound if you want or to sell.
Okay.
So because there hasn't been a pool created yet, we have to set the price of the DRT token. So the DRT token price in pulse terms. So if I go here, the price in rat pulse is 0.06921. So I'm going to copy this, and this is really important to learn how to set up a new liquidity pool on a V3 DEX, because you need to make sure you get the ratios right. Because if you don't, arbitrage bots are going to come in and just basically extract value from the tokens that you're creating basically for free because you made a mistake. So I've taken the price here, and we're going to add liquidity. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a full range position. And what a full range position is, first, is it's a V2 position, a full range, like from 0 to infinity, but it just exists on the V3 protocol. So it's the same thing, but just on a different tech layer underlying it. Okay, so let's add 50%. I would need 80,000 pulse tokens to do this. No, 8,000. Okay, that works. So let's add 50% of this full range. Now, unfortunately, I don't think DexScreener is supporting the V3 DEX on 9mm quite yet. So we aren't going to see any reaction on this price chart right here, I believe. Yeah. So we don't see any added liquidity right here, unfortunately, yet. So we're not going to see any buys and sells that are going through the V3 liquidity aren't going to be reflected on the price chart, which is why I started with V2 so we can get this nice image. So we've added liquidity in the V3 pool at a full range. And so if we go to pools, now we have this liquidity pool, and the liquidity here is, it looks like that's on the V3. That's let's see, V3. Let's refresh. We should. Let's see, the transaction might not have gone through. Oh, that was an approval. That was just approval. Sorry. Okay. Let's add liquidity. Pulse DRT. Created. Grab this price.
Real quick, so Cassie asks in the comments, if as soon as you make the token, people can now buy it, and then anyone who wants to could just jump straight into the pool. Cass, that can only happen if you're doing what Sloth is doing now, right? When we did this initially on the GoPulse.com website, because the token existed in a closed system, Sloth could only send and receive tokens, right? But since he created a pool for it, in Pulse X, now people can trade in and out of whatever pair that he created. In this case, he created the pair for the DRT token, and he paired with the Pulse token, and now people can trade between those pairs.
Exactly. Okay. So now this V3 position is being added, and it's a full range position. And then I'll show you how to do a concentrated liquidity position. Okay, cool. So we have a pool created. So we have a 1% pool created. And if we go to pools on this wallet, you'll see, boom, V3. And it's an active because the price is within our range right now. And this is what I was talking about before with the unclaimed fees. As prices trade within this liquidity pool, this V3 one, I'm going to start earning a drip of DRT and Pulse tokens. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's add a concentrated liquidity position. So this dotted line represents where the price is currently. And then these represents the bars or the range of prices that we want to provide our liquidity at. So here's something that I want to show you guys. If I bring these all the way over to one side, what you'll notice is that we can only provide one of these tokens, and that's the DRT token. If I bring it down to the other side, the DRT token goes away and the Pulse then becomes active. Now, this is really important because when people talk about V3 liquidity, one thing that's often brought up is single-sided liquidity positions, and this is what that is. So if I put the price that I want to provide liquidity at completely above where the current price is, I can only provide the tokens in the DRT token. And if I put it below the price, I can only provide liquidity in the Pulse token. And this makes sense because when you're providing liquidity above the price, you're pseudo saying, I want to sell these tokens at above the current market price. Well, you wouldn't put Pulse above the current market price because you would just buy the token at the price it's at now because you're getting a better deal. Why would you buy something at a higher price than what it's at now? And you wouldn't put DRT token below the current price because if you're looking to sell, why would you sell for a less price than there is right now? You would sell for a higher price. And so that's kind of the reason why you can only do that. So now I'm going to put it really right above the price, and I'm going to put all of my DRT tokens right above the price where we're currently at.
So for those of you who are following at home, that means if the price of DRT gets up to the range that Sloth has set, the pool will start then selling his DRT token into Pulse. Is that correct, Sloth?
Exactly.
Yep.
So basically,
so this is one of those. Go ahead.
I was just going to say more specifically than selling is that they are taking my DRT tokens and then putting Pulse in the pool. So it's not, selling is an easy way to think about it, but technically what's happening is I am taking the other side of their trade. But you're absolutely right. And so now we'll see here that there's this big block. And what this big block represents is the liquidity that I just set up. And so because I just set up this liquidity block, we now can see that there is a block of liquidity at this given price range. Okay, so the price just moved up. So actually, this is really important. Okay, so this is actually great. So the price just moved up. And what we'll notice is in my position that was once all DRT, there's all of a sudden a little bit of Pulse in that position and not as much DRT anymore. I believe, is this the 1% fee? No, this is the full range. Let me look at the other one. Okay. Is this the full range? No, this is the discrete one. So look, I put in 100% DRT, but now look, I have like 7,000 Pulse in this position right now. So that means somebody has now bought tokens in my price range and given me Pulse and taken the DRT from here.
No, this is super cool. So some of the folks at home might have heard of like advanced strategies in terms of entering and exit positions. This is one of those strategies that Sloth is demonstrating right now when he's providing concentrated liquidities within a pool. It's a way for you to exit a position by providing liquidity within the pool.
Exactly. And so like you also see, I've earned, 3 Pulse tokens on this full range position. And I've earned on this discrete position 49 Pulse tokens from the trading fees, that 1% that we were talking about earlier. So I've made a little bit of passive income while allowing people to trade with my tokens. And that's essentially what's going on here. And we see that reflected down here. One more thing I want to talk about is a DEX aggregator, because I think that's really important too. While I pull that up, if you guys want to say anything or cover for me while I set all this stuff up live.
Just gonna say, as a DEX aggregator, by that do you mean something like 9 or like 1 inch or matcha?
Yes.
Are those DEX aggregators? Okay, gotcha. That's pretty nifty. I remember.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say, I think I learned about that from one of Miguel's streams long ago.
Yep. So what a DEX aggregator does is it goes and gets price quotes from all of the DEXs that are supported by the aggregator, and then breaks up your order across the different DEXs so that you get the lowest slippage possible, or you get the best order execution possible. Those are two ways of saying the exact same thing. Basically, you lose less money. So let's go to the DRT token, and this is going to be pretty cool because I know Pedius supports 9mmv3, so this is going to be pretty cool. Let's go here.
Hey, while Sloth is getting all this stuff set up, make sure if you guys don't follow him on social media, make sure if you guys don't follow his YouTube channel, make sure you guys give him a subscription. Make sure you guys give him a follow. Sloth, we're going to give you the opportunity to shout out all your stuff here shortly once you have to roll out. But if you guys don't know about the content that he puts out and just the knowledge that this guy has, make sure you guys add him to the top of the list on YouTube because the content that this guy puts out is phenomenal.
All right. So there, I'm just loading the wallet up a little bit more so that we can play around with it.
Yeah, if this is the kind of stuff that you're trying to learn, like some of these advanced techniques in regards to liquidity providing, I know Sloth, and it's you have a liquidity course with Axis, correct? Is that open for enrollment, or are you guys pretty capped at the moment?
So that is not open for enrollment. We run those live every once in a while, and only the people who bought it previously have access to that recording. So that is not something that you can purchase currently, but if these are things you want to learn about and you want to understand more, I have my own paid products that you can purchase to get direct access to me to help you explain them, as well as get direct access to a fundamentals course that I did that has a lot of this kind of information in there as well too. And when I go over all of my socials and everything, I'll make sure I can tell people who are interested how you can find that kind of stuff. But okay, got it. We're ready to go. So I've funded this wallet with 50,000 more pulse, and now I'm just going to do 50,000 here. Now you'll notice here it's saying fetching best price, and this is going to be pretty cool. So once it fetches the best price, what we're going to see if we go to the show the route, if we'll look, that it's going to take this and it's actually splitting my order up between the V2 DEX that I put in and the V3 liquidity pool that I put in too. And so if I were to just go to the V3 DEX and do this swap, well, only 7% of this token of this order has efficient order execution according to this aggregator. So this other 92%, if I only went on V3, would be 100% slippage and me just losing value. And if I went to just the V2 pool, this is better. 92.8% of my order is getting good execution, but this other 8% is getting higher slippage. But because I've split the order up not me, but because I've gone to a DEX aggregator to automatically split my order up across the two liquidity pools, I'm all of a sudden going to get much less slippage than if I did this independently across the two, or I'd have to calculate it out myself. And if we do let's do 10,000 again, just as another transaction, I'll go ahead and throw it in I'll show the route again. We'll see how it changes when you decrease it, because now, because I've put in less tokens, it now splits up the order a little bit more because the ratio of the buys versus the liquidity in the V3 makes more sense, and because I put a concentrated liquidity position in there. So even though I put less liquidity in the V3 pool, because I put it in a concentrated range, that actually makes it more efficient for order execution within that range, which is one of the main advantages of V3. Okay. Whoa, this was interesting. Oh, so this is interesting. I think somebody provided another pool. It looks like there is a USDC DRT pool in here. Yep. So what's happening is my order is being split up. It's going first to Pulse X, then swapping the Pulse for Hex, Hex for USDC, and then USDC to DRT. So let's do the swap. And then as the swap goes through, I want to see this new liquidity pool. So this is somebody else in the community, right? This wasn't me. You guys have seen what I've been doing live. I haven't added another liquidity pool. But if we go to DRT, see. Let's do DRT rep pulse. Let me get the contract address, so that'll probably be better.
I would expect nothing less
This is
than
awesome.
a group of degens doing all this. This is awesome.
It's probably Dre.
Okay, so I am not seeing the USDC pool. Let's go. What did it say it was on? I think it was on. Let me look at it again. This is.
I don't know,
Sloth,
Jay.
you think
This kind of
you
has
think he
Nate
could
the
have made-
Great written all over it.
You think he could have made the pool on V3? Because you said if it was on V3, it wouldn't pop up on Deck Screener, right?
Yeah, maybe they did. Let's go there. So, this is interesting. So now if you'll look at this, the price here on this discrete pool has gone down a little bit. So now I'm back 100% into DRT and 0% into Pulse. And now the position is inactive because because the price isn't within that range anymore.
So somebody's siphoning wealth, or they're siphoning DRT.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. We got a little community of fucking turkey basters and bellows over here, it would seem. This is fun, though. I like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that other liquidity pool was from. I'm not seeing it anywhere, so I'm not sure what that's about. That was kind of weird. Maybe it was a UI thing. But anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I walked you through a lot: how to create a coin, set up a V2 liquidity pool, see how to find the chart, add liquidity to that existing V2 pool, add a full range liquidity position on V3, and then add a concentrated liquidity position on V3, and then tying that all together with a DEX aggregator to make order execution more efficient. I think that was a pretty good hour, guys. We covered a lot there.
All of that in not even like 45 minutes, bro. 45 minutes with like other talking points in between which we were doing. So actually, there's probably like maybe 30-35 minutes, bro. That you went through that whole presentation. That's a lot of alpha for you guys in 30 minutes, man. That is amazing. Thank you, bro.
Absolutely. It is so cool. All right. Will, I want to give you do you have any final questions before I let Sloth and Jay take off here because they have to get running here. Did you have any final questions for them?
Sloth, do you drink, bro? I got to buy you a drink when I come visit you, man. This shit's awesome.
Yeah, man. I love tequila and gin, so
tequila and gin. I'm going to have to remember that. All right.
Next time we're in Vegas, buddy, we'll tear it up.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, Sloth, let everyone know where they can find you. Let everybody know the content that you have that you're putting out, any education courses, any Telegram channels, stuff like that.
Yeah. So thanks for letting me do that. So you can find me publicly on CryptoSloth here on YouTube, Sloth Crypto 3 on Twitter, and then if you go right down here to CryptoSloth.info, that is where all my paid stuff is. So let me pull that up for you guys so I can show you exactly what I offer. So this is my website, and then we'll go to the membership page. And I have two plans here. That's just, not financial advice. So I have two memberships, the Pro membership and the Elite membership. I assume most people will be interested in the Pro membership. And what this is it's a monthly subscription to my Telegram. So you would get access instantly into the Telegram where you have direct access to me to ask questions via DMs. You get access to my Crypto Fundamentals course, which is a 2-day course I did about crypto investing generally, with a nice the second day with a beginner's guide on liquidity providing. You get that for free. I do community calls about probably once a week to once every other week, depending on how my schedule goes. And those I just drum up a chat and we talk about whatever's going on in the market at the time. We talk about new protocols, liquidity providing, and I just answer any questions that are going on. I've had some really, really great chats lately. And yeah, you basically get access to ask me questions whenever you want. And a lot of times I'm able to even hop on a quick call with you guys just to answer some questions or talk through something. I think I spent like 2 hours just talking to them the other day, which was just a ton of fun. The elite membership is if you wanted to buy it's a bundle. So like you get 4 months access to the Telegram as well as 4 consults. And if you kind of work that out, each consult I charge $600 an hour for. So that's like $2,400 plus $400 a month for $100 a month for the Telegram. So that's like $2,800. You get like an $800 discount if you wanted to buy it altogether. I do offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if at any point you are not happy with the service that I provided, or you don't feel that I've offered the value that you've paid, you just send me a message, no questions asked. I'll send the money back to you. So it's completely no risk to you. You know, I got to prove myself that I can provide you the value. And if I don't, then, you know, I don't want your money if I don't provide that value. I don't want it. I want you to have it back. So if you want to support me and you kind of want to get in and have the kind of conversations that we're having today on a more regular basis and get my take on what's happening in the Pulse chain ecosystem and cryptocurrency, the greater cryptocurrency ecosystem more regularly, this is how you can do that.
It's awesome, man.
Yep.
Absolutely awesome.
What a sell. What a bargain.
For sure. You got any cool stuff coming up around the corner? You got any,
yes, I
special?
do.
All right. What you got coming up?
Here we go. You want to pull the screen up again?
You got it.
CryptoSloth NFTs, baby. We got it. An NFT collection. Yeah.
Bro. All right. Okay. How we buying into this?
Oh yeah, I'll get you all the details right now. So digital DeFi sloths, sloth DDS. So this is my official NFT collection where the mint is going live this Friday, probably mid-afternoon. I don't know the exact time quite yet. And so what these NFTs are is this is essentially my first mark on the blockchain. You know, I've learned a lot about blockchain and cryptocurrency technology in these last couple years of being in the ecosystem, especially creating content. And I think it's kind of a natural evolution for me and my brain to start actually putting things on the blockchain. And so these NFTs are my first step and kind of the foundational level for everything that I want to build in the future. And so, you know, I see NFTs as kind of a social token, or like the ability to verify on the blockchain that somebody has supported me at a certain point in time. And so by owning these NFTs, I have a one-way funnel to be able to provide value to the people who have verifiably supported me. And that's what this kind of the ethos of this these NFTs are. It's kind of you're buying into me, my brand, my provenance, and being able to participate in the growth that I have along the way as I continue to produce content and I continue to learn and I continue to grow just as a person myself. So the total supply is 369. There are 50 that will be available for free to people who hold 69,420 HOA. So this is first come, first serve. If you have a wallet with 69,420 HOA, I'm going to do a snapshot on Thursday, and you'll be able to compete for one of these 50 NFTs for free. And then whenever that sells out, the other 319 will be available to mint for 1 million Pulse each. And these are, again, first come, first serve. If you join my Telegram, you're going to guaranteed get one of the public mint ones. I'm minting one for everybody personally and sending them out to them by hand. But if you want to compete for them, this is kind of how you would do it. So, you know, it's a fairly scarce collection, only 369 total, and the price isn't, is fairly affordable for the most part. So anybody, I think, will be able to at least buy one if they're interested in that. But yeah, this is what's coming down the pipeline for me. And then this is the artwork. This is what they look like. You got some Easter eggs, like I'm a dental student, so I got a little dental coat. You know, I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, so I got the little jiu-jitsu blue belt. There's like little Hedron, Icosa, and Hex necklaces here, so that's pretty cool. Dental loops. Some of them have orange eyes, stuff like that. Laser eyes, of course, a little homage to Bitcoin. But yeah, that's coming up.
That is absolute fire, man. That is super exciting, and it's awesome to see, man. Your trajectory has been awesome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, you deserve everything that you got coming to you and more, man. It's just awesome.
Thank you so much. And hey, I appreciate your guys' support and your willingness to share your platform with me. You know, it's very, very generous, and I appreciate it a lot.
Absolutely.
Hell
man.
yeah, man.
Cool deal. Jay, what about you, man? What you got coming up?
Well, since we spent all of this time going all through the amazing alpha that Sloth had to share with us, anything that I have coming up, you guys will probably get in as an emergency meeting stream on the Telegram, probably within the next few days. Other than that, man, probably catch me on the next stream sometime next week. If that's not Monday, maybe Wednesday, maybe Friday. Who knows? But I wanted to go ahead and thank Sloth once again for spending a little bit of time here with us. That is amazing value that you guys just got out there for free, man. And if you're interested in buying any of his products, the fact that he's offering you guys a 100% money back guarantee, that is like, there's very few companies that offer that, right? That's very honorable. That's like Amazon type 100% money back guarantee. So that's amazing. So make sure if you're not following, if you're not subscribed, make sure to go ahead and follow him on all of his socials. Very active on Twitter, and go ahead and give his products a test and his content a follow and a watch, man, because it's definitely worth it. So thank you again, Sloth, for doing that. Definitely be happy to have you on again, brother.
Yeah, happy to come on anytime. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words, H&J. Yep.
All right, cool deal. If you guys want to go ahead and hop off, you guys can go ahead. Me and Will probably keep this party rolling for another 15 or 20 minutes.
I would like to say thank you, bro. This has been fantastic just to hop on the fucking hype train that Jay was doing. Bro, this is crazy cool. I had no idea what to expect tonight, but dude, you over delivered like crazy. Awesome stuff, dude. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us all this crazy alpha.
Of course. I appreciate the kind words. They mean a lot.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
All right, guys.
Take care.
All right, guys.
Man.
We'll be
next time.
We'll be in contact. I'll see you guys
Sounds
later.
good.
All right, we'll see you.
Have a good one. All
Wow,
right,
what
man.
What a cool fucking stream, bro.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it, dude. Like, you're definitely gonna have to catch this on the replay, man. You're absolutely gonna have to. So, but yeah.
I mean, I guess I can still when I get back to my little shipping container here, but
yeah, for sure.
This is so cool. This is so cool.
All right, let's
get me some
do
of those sloth NFTs.
Let's do a little shout out to who we got in the community right here.
Yes,
Brown. Shout out to all you crayon eaters. So, I think he's specifically talking to you there. So, and Danny Boy hitting the fires, and yeah, man, we got some good content that was just put out. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal, man. You can't get that stuff too often, and it's just so cool to see. So, but I'll tell you what. Do you want to go ahead and start wrapping up? How do you feel about that?
I was gonna say I think I just went through a shitty cell service spot. I missed everything. I heard you shout out some people. What was the there's a bunch of shout outs. Hey, good on all the people in the audience. I heard Brown. I know that farmer.
Yeah, I hit up a couple people on.
Oh no, am I freezing again?
Yeah, you're starting to freeze a little bit. How about now? Can you
God
hear me now?
damn it, go figure. Yeah. I think it's all better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and transition to closing out here. Why don't you tell everyone what we got coming up on Wednesday? Wednesday is going to be a super cool stream. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, go and tell everyone.
Yes. So Wednesday we are going to be interviewing Stephen Bates, the author of Securing Wallets, which is a book that talks about how individuals can better implement cybersecurity measures to keep their cryptocurrency safe, good practices that they can do, threat analysis to like basically the reason why you don't keep your money on exchanges, why you protect your seed phrase, watching out for wrench attacks, which is where somebody like literally comes up and hits you over the head with a wrench to get your seed phrase and all that crap. Like he wrote a fantastic book, so we're going to be covering that, and we're going to be doing a whole bunch of questions and answers and talking about like personal betterment and development and cybersecurity and all sorts of fantastic, fun, and awesome stuff. So put that on your calendars, folks. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, same time as always, interviewing Stephen L. Bates. Other than that, we have what I got coming up in the pipeline is, again, I'm still just chilling out in Texas, trying to meet Hexicans. next weekend, I'm going to be cruising down to Houston. A buddy of mine is having his birthday down there. So if there's any Hexicans in Houston and you guys happen to be watching this show right now, hit me up on either Telegram or Instagram or I guess Twitter or Facebook if you really want to. But all my socials are down below in the description. You can find the links down there. And if you guys are too lazy to scroll down, you can just go to Linktree/Will Stevenson. All my stuff is there. Make sure you guys join our fucking Telegram. Like, it's full of fucking crazy cool alpha like this. We got Sloth in there. We got Walrus in there. We got Boogie in there. We got all sorts of crazy cool people. We got us in there. We're always dropping like cool knowledge and cool information. It's a great place to be. It's free for the time being. Like it's such a fantastic and value-filled community. And right now it's not crazy big. I think we've only got like 120 or some change like that people in our community. So it's not one of those like noisy 4,000 person chats where it's just a whole bunch of clutter, a whole bunch of craziness. It's really cool. It's really personable. And it's just a great place to be. So join our Telegram, like, subscribe, comment, share. Spread this video out to all you guys' social medias and everything. Yeah, I kind of transitioned into a channel shout out there. Back to me, things that I'm doing. I'm also creating a Hexican meetup spreadsheet, right? And really, all that I did was create a document, a little Excel sheet, and I give you guys the link to. If you're a Hexican and you want to meet other Hexicans, what you can do is you can go to bit.ly/hex_meetup_template, and what that will do is it'll take you to this Excel spreadsheet. It's just a Google document. What you do is you can throw in your name, you can throw in your contact information, whether it's Telegram, Twitter, Instagram, fucking whatever socials you want to put in, whatever way for people in whatever city to contact you, and then you write down your city where you're located at, and I put a little color coordination chart for like countries and stuff, which is sort of helpful. But anyways, yeah, all you can do is like you just look up other people who are near you. Like if you happen to be in the same state as me right now, I'm in Texas, and you want to hang out or you want to meet up or something, then you reach out to me or I'll reach out to you, and then we can go like grab a beer, throw some axes, or I don't know, do some cool stuff. Almost said some not very YouTube friendly things there, but we can have a good time. It'll be great. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Interviewing Stephen Bates, Hex Meetup, and join our Telegram.
Yeah, and the link to the Telegram, it's bit.ly/Degenerate Roundtable. Is that correct?
Degenerate _roundtable. So if you guys want to join our Telegram, or you know somebody who wants to join our Telegram, bit.ly/Degenerate_roundtable. And that's how you get into the Telegram group. It's free. It's great. It's crazy. It's awesome. And then also, like, in a couple weeks, we're going to be interviewing my mother on taxes and stuff. Man, I got a lot of stuff in the pipeline now that I think about it. We're going to be interviewing my mom. She's going to give you some information on how to be like a small business owner and not get screwed by the IRS on your taxes. So there's just a lot of cool stuff coming up in the pipe with the Degen Roundtable in the next couple months. We are booked out on guests. We got shows packed up with information. It's going to be great.
You know what we're gonna do right now?
What's that?
We're not gonna end this stream right this second. We're gonna take probably 15 or 20 minutes.
I like it.
We're gonna turn this into a special guest segment. You're the special guest. How's that sound?
Ooh, I'm the special guest?
Yeah, you're the special guest. How's that sound? Let's
all right.
Let's get to know Will Stevenson a little bit. How do you feel about that?
I'm down. Let's fucking do it.
All right. So first off, how did you feel about hosting Whiskey Wednesday? How'd you feel about that? How do you feel like it went?
Dude, I had a great time, man. Like that was I don't remember a lot of it because I got really drunk. I think I ended that show like 6 or 7 beers deep, but I had a great time, man. That was good conversation. It flowed very naturally. I got to talk to the panel, talk to the people in the chats. It was really cool. I don't host a lot of shows, and I don't host them on purpose because I don't particularly enjoy it, but I think that it was a great show. I had a good time that one. That one was a lot of fun.
I was watching it from the balcony in Disney, man, and it was absolutely awesome. The shout out that you gave to Elena at the very beginning of the show, like she was grinning ear to ear, bro. She absolutely loved it. She ran in and she was just so excited, man. So like me personally, I can't thank you enough for that. But yeah, dude, you did an awesome job. That show was great. Thanks, just the back and forth with the different folks that we had that were watching the stream live. It was just awesome. You know what I'm saying? It was, and that's what I love the most about Whiskey Wednesdays is it's our chance to really involve the community. And it's just, it's so cool. So, but yeah, you did an awesome job. So I believe the last time you were on stream, you had mentioned that you and your brother were doing an interview with somebody. Did you guys already do that interview?
No, actually. So I'm glad you asked because I had forgotten about that. On the 20th, my brother Sam and I are going to be doing a interview talking about sexual promiscuity and the effects that the different lifestyle choices that men and women make when they're in their 20s and 30s, like the repercussions that could have on one's ability to essentially like pair bond and mate select and things, and the amount of leverage that would give you, and that it would take away from your ability to find like a partner that you want for whatever your reasons as you go through life and get different goals and things. But that'll be happening on the 20th. The 20th of December. We're going to be streaming it at 4 p.m. Central because she's in Australia, and so I don't know what time that is in Australian, but it's 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central on the 20th of December, which I believe is a Wednesday.
Gotcha, man. Cool deal. So you're an iron worker by trade, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I'm an iron worker by trade, and I think I just drove past my exit. It'll take me back to my towers. Yep, my GPS is telling me to do a loop-the-loop. But yeah, I am a...
Is that something you're sticking with, or is that just a means to an end until you see something better comes up on the horizon?
I love this job, man. Like, don't tell my boss, but I would do this shit for free. Like it's so cool to just be able to go up into the air, 1,000 foot, 1,500 foot, 2,000 foot, even, like just going up into the air and being free from the ground, being totally like hooked off to something that's like incredibly stable and secure, and like it's not gonna fall over unless something like incredibly bad happens. Like it's just such a cool line of work, bro. Like, I fucking love it, man. I had a buddy when I got out of the Marine Corps. He was like, "Yo, dude, come climb towers with me," and I was like, "Okay, why the fuck not?" But yeah, I think I would do this shit for free. The problem is that it takes a lot of time away. So, like, I could see myself doing this for the rest of my life. Maybe not so much the labor part, because it will wear and tear on one's body after a significant period of time. But I fucking love it, man. It's great.
So speaking of the Marine Corps, how many years did you do?
I did 8 years and 1 month in the Marine Corps.
Gotcha.
I was over in Camp Lejeune.
Do you have any regrets about getting out?
I don't know. I do not. No, I do not have any regrets about getting out. I will say that I miss the camaraderie, and I miss the bond that's formed when you go through a whole bunch of bullshit with a whole bunch of people that are like just trying to get something done, and you're all suffering together. It really builds like a different kind of bond than anywhere else that I've seen in life. The only other thing that's like comparable is kind of this crypto stuff, man. Suffering through the bear markets. This shit really builds a tight fucking bond between the boys. I never deployed to any like crazy combative countries. The most I ever did was sit on a ship off the coast of Libya during like the bombing sessions back in 2016. But like just doing all the training stuff and all of the suffering in the field, and like the late sleepless nights and the early mornings and the doing things for seemingly no reason, just like all the suffering and all the camaraderie. It was a great time. I don't regret getting out because I got out right before the zombie virus happened. And so I didn't have to deal with any of like the military side, like the bullshit going on with the military side of all that. I got out before the jabs were required, and the masks and all the craziness and all the freedom restrictions really went into full throttle. So everything happened very serendipitously for me.
So if you were staring at 18-year-old Will Stevenson in the face right now,
yeah,
what are a couple different things that you would tell him, given the life experience that you have up to this point right now?
Well, the only different
couple words of wisdom.
I would want to say I wouldn't tell him jack shit, because I'm very happy with how it turned out. And I think if I would have robbed myself of all the horrible things that happened to me, then I wouldn't be the person that I am now. So like my first gut instinct when you asked that question was I'd be like, oh, I'd tell him to buy Bitcoin. But then if I told him to buy Bitcoin, then I would have never met you guys. You know, I would have never built this. I would have never helped build this channel. I would have never like lost a lot of money and learned a lot of lessons. Well, I probably would have lost a lot of money, but I wouldn't have learned the same kind of lessons. You know, it would totally have restructured my life. I guess the only thing that I would tell myself is life's gonna suck. Learn to love it because you'll be stronger for it. You know, that it would just be like some bullshit ass advice that everyone gives to younger people. And I would probably, like, younger me would probably shrug it off and be like, oh, this fucker, like, screw that dude, you know. But that's what I would tell myself is like, you literally, you shouldn't change anything about what happened in your past, because that is part of what made you who you are today. And if you're a strong person, that's great. And if you're not a strong person, then you need to figure out like how to better learn lessons from like all the bad things that happened to you. So that's what I would tell 18-year-old Will. What about you?
And
What would you tell 18-year-old Josh? I know that you're in your mid 30s right now, right? So what would you tell 18-year-old Josh?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of a lot like you. Like, I don't regret any decisions. Life's been hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
During certain periods of time, life is difficult, of course, but that difficult nature, it really forges the path forward for you. So
yeah.
I'm where I am today because of those difficult experiences that I went through, and I wouldn't change any of it at all. The only thing, is, I really think that it's important for men before they even consider truly getting serious with a woman is make sure that they have everything. I don't want to say to make sure they have everything figured out ahead of time, but I do certainly believe that a guy shouldn't even consider marriage and shouldn't even consider creating a family until he's in his 30s. And, I was talking to a friend the other day. You hear how much life changes when you get into your 40s and your 50s. The main thing that you hear about when you get into your 30s is how your body starts feeling different. And of course, your body does start feeling a little bit different. But the big thing that I understand is just the mental maturity and the wisdom that comes with it. Where I am today versus where I was 10 years ago. I mean, totally different mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The things that I understand now, the things that I wish I had known, that maybe could have avoided a little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of frustration, a little bit of difficulty in life. And I'm going to say a little bit because ultimately I love where my life is now. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that, I have an awesome 7-year-old daughter. I wouldn't change that for the world. Luckily, I have a good relationship with my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, we're still very cordial and we're able to do stuff, for the sake of my daughter. So, I mean, it's awesome. I'm in a position that not a lot of people are, and, at the end of the day, I am blessed to be in the position that I'm in, but guys really should. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. Not fall into societal pressures because societal pressures are huge, especially when you're in your late teens, early 20s, and all that stuff, and you're just starting out in life. I think it's very easy to fall into societal pressure, and if you can just get through that initial phase and just continue to grind, and then once you're in your 30s, that's when you can really start focus on settling down and creating a family and all that stuff. But I
like that's a good spin you got there. I hadn't thought about that.
Which aspect?
The like not falling for societal pressure. I should have clarified. That's a good one. Like,
yeah, it's huge.
Peer pressure is a hell of a fucking drug.
Yeah, it's huge. And Patrick Bet-David says it the most. You go through 3 phases in life as a child towards your parents. You idolize, you demonize, and then you humanize. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of guys go through that demonization phase in their early 20s with their parents. And then it takes them a couple years to really humanize them. And, you know, you can make a lot of stupid, foolish decisions when you're in that demonization phase. So, you know, learning to become emotionally responsible and emotionally mature and just focus on your grind. You don't have to worry about having any kids necessarily right away. You don't have to worry about anything like that, man. Just be free as a bird, you know, float around like a feather, dude, go everywhere, live wherever. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You know, and there will be time for you to focus on, you know, creating that family and stuff like that. But just make sure that ultimately you get that wisdom part figured out, because I'm telling you, man, well, like, I don't know once I hit like 30, 31 years old, bro, it was like a complete mental change. Like, things just started making sense to me. I had to update my belief structure and a whole lot of stuff. And then, you know, once that happened, it was just like, oh, well, yeah, if I had known that, then, you know, X that, you know, all this, that, and the other. So,
dude, you hit the nail on the head right there.
Yeah, for sure.
I almost want to spark up this Fuente Grand Reserva. I think I might do that. It's time for a cigar, Mr. Josh.
I like it, man. I like it. How much longer you want to keep rolling? We're going on an hour 30 right now.
I'm down to go as long as you want to go, bro. If not, I'm just gonna sit here fucking smoke it. Oh, and it came with a cedar wrap, so I can light the cigar. Oh, this is great. I love it. How long do you want to go?
I don't know. Chad says to spark up, so
spark it up. All right,
spark it up. We got Dre. We got Dre talking about how you got out of the Marine Corps because you got tired of area beautification.
Yeah, he's right about that. I don't like picking up cigarette butts. Yo, I did some shooting training earlier today, and as I was like, you know, we clean up the range after we're done shooting and everything, and there's just like a ton of brass on the ground. And as I was picking up the brass, I was reminded of all the area beautification that we had to do and all the crazy crap and all of that. And I was like, oh man, I'm glad I'm not picking up cigarette butts anymore for a living. This is nice.
For sure.
So the way to light a cigar, for those of you that don't know, if you ever get cedar wrap, if you ever get a cedar roll that comes with your cigar, what you do is you light the cedar, and what that does is it creates a nice, cool, clean burn. I lit my other cigar with a lighter earlier, so shame on me. But this cigar is fancy.
Are those the burn, or are those the things from Miami?
No, these are excuse me, these are different ones. I left those with Brendan. Oh shit, I'm about to get my fingers.
I like it,
Ooh,
man.
that's a nice cherry. Look at that.
I like it.
Beautiful.
It's a good setup.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Josh, you used to also be in the military yourself. You were a 50 gunner, as I recall from a few of your podcasts and talking personally. And stop me if I cross, like, you know, whatever lines
ahead,
here.
Bro. Yeah,
so you were a 50 gunner. You were over in Iraq. Was this during Fallujah times?
So graduated high school, went straight into the military out of high school. Fallujah was 2004. Fallujah 1 was early 2004, I want to say. And then Fallujah 2 was late 2004. I deployed over to Iraq in 2007, and I was there for the surge in Baghdad when Petraeus came in, took over, and he ordered pretty much it went from something like 5 or 6 brigade combat teams to 10 brigade combat teams into Baghdad, and he took all the troops off the installation because the SOP at the time was American forces would go into a city, you know, whether it be Baghdad, other cities, other towns. They would roll in, they would run ops, and then they'd pull out each and every night and go to these large forward operating bases. Well, Petraeus came in and said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to dwell amongst the community. So when he came in, part of the surge was setting up these combat outposts and stuff like that in the middle of the city, staying with the Iraqi police, staying with the Iraqi military, not having an opportunity to pull out, so to speak. So
was this the hearts and minds stuff?
Yeah,
when that all started?
Kind of. I mean, it was always all about hearts and minds, and I don't know. In a lot of ways, I feel like this was our generation's Vietnam, but that's a completely different topic to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our initial mission is we were going to actually be going up to Crete in northern Iraq to train Iraqi police. But there was a unit who had a mission that was deploying around the same time as us. They were going to be doing personal security detail with some of the high Iraqi government officials and working with their Secret Service and doing a protective detail. Well, they ended up turning out to be a shitbag unit, and they didn't have the opportunity to qualify on a lot of different stuff. So we actually had our mission changed probably 3 or 4 weeks before we were going to be deploying. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yep. So we got that Frago, and sure enough, went into Iraq, went into Baghdad,
Fragos.
and went into Baghdad, and that's exactly what we did. But yeah, I was a 50 gunner on the front truck of a 4-truck convoy. 18 years old, man, world of responsibility on my shoulders. And, all the guys that I was playing football with the year before, graduating high school with, they were all at keg parties in college and stuff like that. And, that gave me my first world sense of experience and responsibility was, a mission that was greater than myself. And that actually had a really big impact on me once I got out of the military, because I was trying to find that, and it's hard to find in the civilian world. You know what I'm saying?
It really is, man. I feel you 100%.
Yeah, you watched the episode that I did with Mike and with Travis, and
the whole thing. That was a good episode.
I told those guys, man, I did every single job you can think of under the sun for like 4 years after I got out. But yeah, so I did my first tour to Iraq, came home. Had the traditional, didn't feel like I did enough, felt like I still left some stuff out there. So hopped on a second deployment and went over back to Baghdad, trained Iraqi police for an entire year in 2009. And then by that time, it was a totally different war, and the war was starting to wind down. And then came home, man. And then 2010, 2011 rolled around, and I had already done 2 combat rotations. So by that point, I was just like, you know what? I'm ready to be a kid. I was 23 years old. And I was just like, no, I'm done. I'm done with this whole military thing. I want to be a kid. Looking back on it, I wish I had stayed in. I'd be like 3 years from retirement right now if I had stayed in. But, I wouldn't have the stuff that I have now. And it is a totally different military now than it was, when I was in. And I know every soldier, every Marine, every sailor, every airman, every coastie, they're all going to say that, it's totally different than when I was in.
And I would hope it is, I would just hope it'd be for the better.
Yeah. But it's a different military now. But yeah, so, that's what I did. Did 6 years. Loved it. Loved the experience. And, it's definitely fostered the path to where I am now. So awesome experience. It's gotten me to where I want to get to in life, and it's only going to help me get to the next levels as I ascend up into it and stuff like that.
Did you do any other so when I was in, I was a logistician, but I spent most of my time not doing logistics stuff. I did a lot of marksmanship training. Other than running a gun on a truck, did you do any other secondary job stuff or any other training things while you're in?
So my MOS was military police, 31 Bravo military police in the Army.
Yeah.
So when I went through basic and AIT, we got police training and stuff like that. Very limited, but we did, still get a little bit of it. But I was in during the height of the Iraq War, bro. So I never did any police work while I was in the military. Never did any of it. It was all combat training. So, yeah, I mean, my job was an MP. I had the MP sticker, the MP attachment on my shoulder and all that stuff. But the military police had a lot. Our mission was totally different in Iraq because the big mission was training the Iraqi police and the Iraqi military. That was the big mission at the time. So, you know, that job fell on the military police. You know, other units were doing it also, but no, I didn't do any police training. I didn't do any police work. It was all combat training the whole time that I was in. And yeah, so.
Isn't it funny how that works?
Yeah.
This is the thing that I learned how to do, not doing it.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is like I'll you know, because I'm a big history buff, so I'll look at like what the MPs did during World War II, and they didn't do what the MPs did in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, those guys were operating checkpoints and running supply lines and stuff like that, both in the Pacific and the European theater. But yeah, it was a totally different experience. There was no supply lines because there was no front in the Iraq or Afghanistan war. And we can talk about this. You know, this is totally getting off topic of what kind of what the channel is. But
yeah, true.
yeah, it's totally getting off topic with that aspect. But yeah, I guess to pull it back to crypto, what you had mentioned, you mentioned something important. I think it's important to highlight. I want you to hit on this, and then we can kind of close out.
All right.
You had mentioned that you lost money, right? And you know, even in the first episode that we did, you had gave that analogy. You know, all you knew was Bitcoin at the time, and you wrote it all the way up. Yep, all the way up. And then
I like how
you came down with it. Go ahead. What were you saying?
In the intro that everyone listens to every day, you only hear the good part. You don't hear that after Bitcoin topped out, I essentially was like, what the fuck is going on with this shit? Like when it did its first like peak up at 65,000 and it came back down shortly after that point, I was like, man, screw this shit. I'm buying more because I thought it was like, oh, price is going down, whatever. And then like I started running out of my company started running out of work, and so we started getting less hours. And then my grandfather died, and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta like take time off of work and go deal with this. And so I had over leveraged myself in the system, and I had to pull out a lot of the wealth at a giant loss from what I had put it in at. So I lost a shit ton of money on Bitcoin, man. I lost, double or 5 digits of cashola.
Yeah, and in saying that, I want you to talk a little bit about how important that lesson was for you, though.
Yeah, so that's when like nothing stays up forever. Everything flows in cycles, and I didn't understand that at the time, right? Like I understand now that there's this sort of kind of 4-year cycle that has happened 3 times before. We're in the 4th time right now, and like I didn't know that prices of things go up and they come back down. Never really thought about that. So with that understanding, like when you realize that things go up and they come down, it opens your eyes to the fact that you got to make sure that you have an understanding on the time horizon that your money's going to be locked away, and it's going to like have this window of opportunity for you to get good buys and to get good sells, right? So like, you can't go through life buying things with Bitcoin, and we don't want you to be able to go through life buying things with Bitcoin, because as soon as Bitcoin becomes like the thing that people trade for other things, that means that the other things are more important than the Bitcoin, and it's not a good store of value anymore, right? I think it was it might have been Lamont Black, or it might have been it might have been RG3 that said you spend your worst asset, right? So like if Bitcoin becomes the thing that you're switching your money into and out of, it's no longer a good, fantastic asset anymore. I'm not sure where I'm going with this thought, but the important thing is that I learned from losing that massive amount of money is like, oh shit, like a price can go down. You need to only put in money that like don't use this volatile system as a savings. Use it as an investment. And there is a difference between the two, because like savings is like these are the expenses that I might incur throughout my lifetime, right? An investment this is how I compound my wealth as an individual, right? And you like the two shouldn't be mixed, or if you are going to mix them, you should at least have a better plan than I did when I was mixing them back then. So that's what I learned out of that whole fiasco. And like if I did not have the pain of that lesson, I probably would not have the discipline to hold through the lows that I'm holding through now, and to buy more of the lows, and to pay better attention to the market. instead of just operating on like a mindless, oh, and the only thing I know is this thing, so I better just buy. It's going up, buy more. It's going up, buy more. It's like, no, you have to kind of like put your excitement on pause. You have to put your euphoria like in check and say, hey, this thing is doing crazy moves. You have to really understand what you're doing before you jump in balls deep and stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people in our community that do pretty well in this upcoming bull market. They're going to do pretty well. But crypto isn't an overnight thing. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes focus. It takes studying. And it takes a relentless ability to stomach the highs and the lows. And, you know, we're going to get a lot of people in, especially over the next year, who have no idea about that.
Yep.
You know, they're going to see Bitcoin running up. They're going to hear stories about their buddies who they bought whatever coin that went through the moon. And next thing you know, their buddies have spending money and all this sort of thing. But they're not going to understand that hard-earned lesson and the hard dedication and the mindset that goes into it. And it's going to be super important for not only our roundtable, but the guys that we have in our community, the guys and the girls that we have in our community, to sort of be able to be that example to the new people coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. This is I have a moral quandary here, and I'd like your opinion on this as well. I intrinsically don't want people to suffer, but I know that the suffering is what gives people, is what builds your character and what makes you become better. So like, I want to save people from suffering through the same thing that I did, but I know in the back of my head, like if I rob them of this opportunity to go through pain and trial and tribulation to come out stronger on the other end, then I'm robbing them of like development, you know? Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, and you know, that's just tough love, man. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to if you have a family member that's using drugs and you have to cut off communication with them, or you know, you have to force them to rehab, or you know, whatever's going on in life. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but they're similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
for
tough
sure.
love both ways. Either way, it's tough love. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to see people go through that, but at the end of the day, they're going to be stronger if they do go through that, you know, and, you know, I can speak to it, you know, having a 7-year-old daughter, there's things that I don't want her to have to go through, but she's going to have to go through, you know what I'm saying? Like the big thing with her now is anytime I take her anywhere in public, I make sure she knows what her mother's cell phone number is, because if she gets separated from me or from her mother, then, you know, she needs to be able to go up to another mommy, tell her, hey, I lost my parents. Can you call my mom and tell the cell phone number? I got to the point to where I took her to the mall probably about 6 months ago, and I purposefully, like, I stood back, she went to the bathroom, and I vanished. I watched her back from the corner. And as a dad, that was super tough to go through, watching my little girl start to panic. You know, she started to panic. I saw it, and I just wanted to run up to her and grab her. But I had to tell myself, no, she has to go through this. She has to understand this, because I can explain stuff to her all day, but it's until she actually goes through it and understands it. She freaked out, right? Long story short, we talked about it. I put her through the same scenario a couple weeks later, and she, within 30 seconds, she walked right up to another mom, said, hey, I lost my dad. Can you call my mom, you know, to get back in contact and this, that, and the other. And it was awesome. But she had to go through that to understand, hey, look, it's not the end of the world. I just need to go find another mommy. And it's kind of similar to, you know, you can use the same analogy when it comes down to new folks that are coming in, that, you know, hey, you don't want them to have to go through that suffering, that pain. You don't want to have to see people lose money. But at the end of the day, they have to experience it if they're going to grow. It's just, they have to.
And like, for you guys that are listening right now, whether you're listening live or on the replay, if you fuck up and you lose your stack, like, we're still here, you know. Well, like, we're not going to save you, but we can help you help yourself. We can help you learn. We can help you maximize the lessons that you can extract out of this horrible thing that's probably going to happen or not going to happen. You know, like whether it happens or not is totally up to you. And if you fuck it up, it's all your fault. And if you do great, it's also all your fault. Now, if you fuck it up and you don't pull anything valuable out of it, and you know you like, God forbid, you like, you know, delete yourself or something, then it's like it's very tragic. And I hope that doesn't happen. And so we're here to help you through how should I put this? Like we're here to help you find the lessons and to become a stronger individual from the mistakes that you make. Right? Like, we're not here to save you. We're here to be the, like, hey, this is the time when, like, you know, dad leaves the daughter in the bathroom and then disappears to, like, test her ability to do the wise thing, to reach out and to basically go through the process of, like, how do I fix this problem that's happened to me, right? So if you guys do fuck up, it's not the end of the world. It'll sure fucking feel like it, and you're gonna have to, like, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Hopefully a lot of you have already gone through this, and if you haven't gone through this, like, consider putting yourself through some crazy shit in like some sort of semi-controlled manner. Like, I don't know, go out into the woods for a fucking week with a backpack and a knife and some string, or like join a group of dudes that do like ice plunges every day. Like, put yourself through hard stuff, so that way when like through controlled hard stuff environments, so that way when like real hard stuff happens in life, you have a little bit more fortitude, you have a little bit more conditioning to be able to deal with it. You know, build that muscle memory, build that tolerance to understand when bad things are happening, to recognize the inputs, and then to formulate a logical and coherent plan as to how you're going to get yourself out of this bad situation. You know,
boom.
That's what we're here for.
Boom. I like it. All right. So we got, what is it? Stephen Bates on Wednesday. Is that his name?
Stephen Bates on Wednesday. We've got, there's another book club coming up. God, I can't remember what it is. I'll have to double check with Zenith what the next book club is coming up. And then on the 27th, we have my mother. And you guys already know how to find other Hexicans. You know how to get to our channel. In case you don't, bit.ly/degenerate_roundtable. That's how you get in our Telegram. It's a valuable place.
I like it. You guys can find Will, and you guys can find my social medias down in the description below. Make sure you guys follow us there. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share this URL across all the social medias. Join the Telegram. Stephen Bates coming up this Wednesday. Will is going to be hosting that. I'm going to be on it along with Jeff and who else is going to be on that? Zenith.
Zenith will be on. Yep.
Yes, Zenith will be on it. Zenith's been on a grind lately. Zenith.
Next book club is my mother's book.
Yep. That's
hell
gonna be
yeah.
the next book club. So that's going to be awesome. And then 2 weeks from Wednesday, we're going to have Will's mom in studio as a special guest. So that's going to be awesome to see as well. We have our regular Sunday night episode coming up next week, and we're going to have a lot of stuff coming around the corner for you guys. So make sure you guys are in the community. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, and make sure you have joined the Telegram. That being said, everybody that is watching us live, if you made it this far, we thank you guys so much for your time this evening. If you guys are checking us on the replay, make sure you guys hit that notification bell and catch us live for our next episode. Ready to roll out, Will?
I'm ready, bro. I'll get my salute ready.
I like it. DJing responsibly.